So if you're thinking about moving from New York City to Albany, one of the biggest questions you probably have, how much money am I actually going to save? Well, I lived in both places. I spent about 2 years living in Brooklyn, specifically in Coney Island and Flatbush area. And I've also lived in the Albany area before and after living in New York City. So when people ask about the cost of living differences between Albany and New York City, I'm not just looking at statistics online. I've experienced both lifestyles firsthand. And honestly, the biggest shock wasn't the weather, traffic, or even the pace of life. It was housing. In this video, I'm going to break down the real cost of living differences between Albany and New York City in 2026, including housing, transportation, food, entertainment, and whether to move to Albany is actually worth it. So let's get started. Let's start with the biggest expense for most people, which is the housing. When I lived in Brooklyn, it was completely normal to hear people paying thousands of dollars every month in rent. And the thing that always stood out to me was how little space you often got for that money. You could be paying a premium price and still be dealing with limited square footage, street parking issues, shared walls, and all of the other realities that come with living in New York City. When I came back to the Albany area, the biggest surprise to me was seeing what that same monthly payment budget could actually buy. Instead of renting an apartment, many people are able to purchase a home, and not just any home. We're talking about homes with yards, garages, driveways, basements, and significantly more living space. For many New York City residents, this is the moment they start seriously considering a move. When they see what their housing budget can actually buy in Albany compared to what it buys in New York City, it's an eye-opening difference. If you're shopping in many parts of Brooklyn, Queens, or Manhattan, a large portion of your budget is going towards location. You're paying for access to one of the most famous cities in the world. In Albany, your money generally goes much further when it comes to actual living space. You can often find single-family homes that would simply be out of reach for many buyers in New York City. This is one of the biggest reasons I talk to so many people who are relocating from downstate. They're looking for more space, more affordability, and a better overall quality of life. Now let's talk about transportation. This is one of the categories where New York City definitely has an advantage. You can almost get anywhere using public transportation, like subways, buses, trains. You don't necessarily need a car in New York City. However, in Albany, it's different. Most people own a vehicle and drive regularly, so you'll need to factor in things like car insurance, gas, vehicle maintenance, and potential car payments. But here's the trade-off. One thing I absolutely do not miss about New York City is the traffic. I don't miss spending the excessive amount of time trying to get somewhere that should only take 15 minutes. I don't miss circling blocks, looking for parking, and I definitely don't miss sitting in congestion everywhere I go. In Albany, most people can get across town relatively quickly. The commute that might take an hour in New York City could take 20 minutes here. And over time, that adds up. You're not just saving money, you're saving time. What I actually miss about New York City, the food. And honestly, it's not even close. New York City is one of the greatest food cities in the world. No matter what you're craving, you can probably find it. Pakistani food, Italian food, Chinese food, Caribbean food, Middle Eastern food, whatever you're looking for, there's a good chance that it's probably nearby. And many places stay open late. That's something Albany simply can't compete with. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some very good restaurants here in Albany, but if you're coming from Brooklyn, Manhattan, or Queens, you're going to notice the difference. The variety is different, the quantity is different, and the late night options are definitely different. The other thing I do miss is the nightlife in New York City. There's always something going on. You can go out on a random Tuesday and still find events, restaurants, entertainment, and things to do. The city never really stops. Albany is much more laid back. There are things to do, yes. There are bars, restaurants, concerts, festivals, and events, but it's not New York City. And that's something people should understand before moving to Albany. If your ideal lifestyle revolves around constant activity and nightlife, you'll probably notice the difference. Now let's talk about the things I don't miss at all: the traffic, noise, and pollution. When I lived in Brooklyn, there was always something going on. Cars, sirens, construction, crowds. The city is constantly moving. For some people, that's exciting. For others, it becomes exhausting. One thing I appreciate about Albany is that life feels more manageable. Parking is easier. The roads are less crowded. And in general, things move a lot slower. A lot of people underestimate how much that can improve their day-to-day quality of life. Now, there is one thing that surprises many buyers moving from New York City. New York's capital region does have property taxes that buyers need to understand before purchasing a home. When people first start looking online, they often focus only on the purchase price, but it's important to look at the full monthly payment, including taxes and insurance. The good news is that even after accounting for taxes, many buyers still find that they get substantially more value and significantly more space compared to New York City. So who is Albany a good fit for? In my experience, Albany makes a lot of sense for first-time homebuyers, families, remote workers, people who are looking for more space, and people who want shorter commutes, people looking for a lower cost of living. If you're at that stage in life where affordability and quality of life matters more than nightlife and convenience, Albany becomes a very attractive option. Having lived in both Brooklyn and Albany, I can honestly say there are things I love about both places. I miss the food, I miss the nightlife, but I don't miss the traffic. I don't miss the constant noise, and I definitely don't miss how expensive housing can be. For a lot of people, Albany offers a balance that can be hard to find elsewhere. You still get access to great schools, outdoor activities, restaurants, and a strong job market, but at a significantly lower cost than New York City. So if you're thinking about making the move from New York City to Albany and you want to learn more about the area, feel free to reach out to me at 518-348-9535. My name is Satai, and I help people buy and sell homes throughout the capital region. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other relocation videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.